You motherfuckers better start watching my show. I'm going to shoot your ass if I can find a target. I'm going to shoot. Can't even hold the goddamn gun still. Okay, there we go. You better. Oh! I don't run out of bullets either. Oh! 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 Hi, Kenson. I decided I was going to do a wrap-up of the Prague Pro. Kenson yelled at me via Instagram. He told me that there's no way Keon's winning just because he's right. Doesn't give him the right to yell at me. Fucking prick. Gotta pick up my bullets. I lost my bullets, man. Where my motherfucking bullets at, son? There's something so freeing about talking like a black man. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, got my bullets. All right. Yes, Kenton from EP09. He yelled at me. He told me I was a douchebag. And he said that I'm like... Kenton from EP09 said, I am the human equivalent of period cramps. Oh, fuck, man. He said the only way that I was ever going to be able to get laid again is if I crawled up a chicken's ass and just waited. That's what he said. Fuck a prick. Anyway, I thought, look, I was right about Keon. You were right to say I was a smart guy, and you would take my word for it. No. You were right. I was wrong. I thought it was going to be between Samson and Keon. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be Samson and Keon. Turned out to be between Samson and Martin. See, Keon, it's a win-win because he goes into the show. He takes fourth place, right? Yeah, takes fourth place, and he's a 212 guy, and it's like, well, he's a 212 guy. What do you expect? He's up there with the big boys, right? But if he would have won, or it would have been between him and Samson, it would have been like, whoa, Keon just fucking took Samson for a ride. But nobody's really shitting on Keon because he's a 212 guy. That was disgusting. Oh, Harry is here. Oh, hello, Harry. As Martin stepped up, but Samson take a step back. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, Forrest. Thank you very much for bringing that up. Because even though I thought it was going to be between Samson and Keon, my philosophy still rang true. I said this was a bad show for Samson to do, being that there were so many heavy hitters in this show, that if he lost, that's exactly what people were going to say. Is he still the Samson of old? Can Samson still win the Olympia? Can Samson still win the Arnold Classic? And people are like now, I don't know. He might be, his best days might be behind him because Martin is looking better and better, and he just beat him, and he came in behind Samson at the Olympia. But no, don't listen to me. What do I know? I'm a fucking idiot. So I'm glad you brought that up, Forrest. I believe the answer is Martin stepped up. That was the best Martin that we've ever seen. Yeah, it says, will he? Maybe. Right. That's not the point. EP09. The point was he has not had a good 2025. He lost the Arnold, he lost the Olympia, lost the Prague Pro, and this is all because of poor decision making. I mean, to be honest with you, the Arnold wasn't about poor decision making. He just went up against a really, really good Derek, and Derek beat him. Then he does the Olympia, and no, it is about poor decision making because I probably wouldn't have done the Arnold after I did after I won the Olympia last year, right? So I Where was I? You guys just distract me. I'm easily distracted. I must have some ADHD or something. I'm like my dog. Where's the ball? Anyway, so I wouldn't have done the Arnold after the Olympia in 2025 because he had won the Olympia and Derek beats him. So now it's like, oh, well, can Derek win the Olympia back again? And obviously he did. Olympia Jesus Christ. Samson comes back, says I'm going to do the Olympia. I'm going to come in chisel dice, sucks down too low, and just shits the bed all over the place, right? Then he decides, I'm going to take this next fucking comeback, and I'm going to take Prague, and I'm going to show them that I'm the old Samson. And that didn't work. So what I was trying to say was that Samson should have been more strategic in his decision-making and what show to do, because now his stock has dropped. Okay, a very young, he lost the Olympia dramatically. A very young Martin beat him. He is going to be not talked about right now. Okay, so people are going to be talking about Martin, Derek. Those are going to be the two big names. See, again, nobody really cares about Keon because it's like, well, he was a 212 guy. He went up against the big boys. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but Clarita looks better against the big boys than Keon does for some reason. I just think he comes across better on stage next to the big boys. Unless Keon just missed his mark. Maybe he tried to come in too beefy. I don't know. Keon is turning into one of those bodybuilders that look great on Instagram, but it doesn't really translate to the stage for some reason. I don't know. You look at him on Instagram and you're like, Jesus, nobody can beat this guy. And then you put him on stage for some reason and he wins, but it's not this, doesn't seem to be this dominant force that we thought it was going to be. It was very close in the Olympia. And, even though coming in fourth in his first open show is very good for Keon, a lot of people were like, well, could he win this? Could he come in second? Is he going to be neck and neck with Samson? So on and so forth. Just because he's small doesn't mean he can't hold his own against the big boys, right? So that was my whole theory behind why I didn't think Samson should do Prague. Samson should have done a show where he could just blow the competition out of the water. That a show that he could just have annihilated everybody, like whatever's coming up, Japan, Romania, whatever show is coming up, Spain. And then people will be saying, damn, Samson looks like the old Samson. Instead, now we're talking about how great Martin looks. Sometimes I know it's hard to take the emotion out of the reason and the strategy. I know everybody is a hardcore fucking bodybuilding fan and we're just fans with our hearts, right? And we're like, no, that's bullshit. He should do every show he can and he should come in the bed. I hate to tell you this, guys, but it is a business and there is strategy involved. All right. And sometimes, you just went up against the best in the world in the Olympia, and then you went up against the best in the world in the Arnold, and you lost both times. Now it's time to think, all right, how could I get back on top? How could I redeem myself? And I was saying, this is the wrong show. You got Keon, you got Martin, you got Crizzo. Wrong show. Don't. Because if it's close or if you lose, your stock's going to drop even more. I thought it was going to be between Keon and Samson. Turned out to be between Keon and your sister's ass, Samson. Martin and Samson. Holy shit. You know what, Forrest? I think you're right. I think I'm retarded today. Anyway, so, all right. That being said, Martin looked fucking insane, dude. He looked fucking amazing. I didn't know, he looked great at the Olympia. He looked better here. And it's like, whoa, what did he do different in the couple of weeks that from Prague to the Olympia? Now, if I'm Martin, I'm saying to myself, please invite me to the Arnold. I can win that shit. If I'm Martin, I'm going to the Arnold guns a-blazing, bring it on. I just beat a ton of elite bodybuilders. I just beat the best of the best. I'm going to the Arnold Classic. That, if I'm Martin, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. You know, because he looked fucking great. Now, guys like Crizzo, you know, he lands where he lands. He's huge. He's hard. Is he signed up for it already, Forrest? Oh, good. Okay, good. Martin is, I'm sorry, Crizzo is Crizzo. He's huge. He's hard. He's dense. He does good. Nobody is expecting him to dominate, but nobody's expecting him to lose. Everybody is always expecting Crizzo to be in the mix, which he is. He's always in the mix. So he's fine. Keon's fine because he's a 212 guy, 212 champion, went up against the big boys. He came in fourth, no big deal. Now, Joan Crawford. I make myself laugh. I mean, Jonah Hill. It's not Jonah Hill. It's not Joan Crawford. Shut up, assholes. Joan Prattle's the guy from Spain. He's young. He looked good. Okay, he looked great. People are going to be talking about him. He looked fantastic. He came in fifth, but it was a really good showing for him. It really was. So the only person that really got hurt was Samson in the show. That's the only person that really got hurt. So if I'm Samson, I'm taking some time off. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking some time off. I don't want my stock to drop any more than it already is. Let's not put bad money on top of bad money, which means let's not dump money into a losing stock. Okay? Let's reinvent the business and reinvest. So if I'm Samson, I'm going back to square one. And if I'm Samson and I want to make this year 2026 count and be the old Samson and come back with a vengeance, I'm having a heart-to-heart with my wife and say to myself and say to her, I think we've drained as much knowledge together as possible. I think it's time to seek out a new trainer. If I'm Samson, I'm looking at Chris Aceto. I'm calling up Chris Aceto and I'm saying, so you do with Derek, so what you do with Andrew. I got enough gas in the tank. I need help. And his wife should understand. Now, his wife did a great job. Like, look, his wife did a magnificent job. Okay, but here's the deal. Now, the younger guys are getting better. He still has a chance to win. He's not the kind of guy that could come in lean and hard and chiseled like a Martin or like a Hottie, but he has to be full as he was here, but a little harder. You can see it in Samson's legs. You know, his quad separation doesn't come all the way up to the top of his quad, right? You could see the difference. If I'm Samson right now, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to have a heart-to-heart conversation with my wife and say, you are my wife and I love you. I think we've drained all the knowledge out of the two of us. We won the Mr. Olympia together, but competition's tougher than ever. I'm not done. I got plenty of gas in the tank. I got a couple of good years left. I'm looking for maybe another Arnold Classic victory, another Olympia victory. I think it's time to make some changes. And if I'm Samson, I'm calling Aceto. I mean, you look what Aceto did with fucking, 30-something years of experience. And, yeah, he can fire his wife, but he won't hear the end of it. That's for sure. Think about the small argument you have with your wife, and she's always throwing it in your face. Could you imagine if he fires his wife, and like every once in a while they have an argument? They're like if he fires his wife and he's like, and he hires a Cito, and she's like, and he goes, what should we eat tonight? And she's like, I don't know. Why don't you go ask Chris Cito what we should eat tonight? Yeah, exactly, Holly. It's exactly. But that's what I'm thinking. Look, we've seen plenty of people change coaches. It doesn't mean that he's not still his wife and it's a husband. It's difficult because it's just an intimate relationship, So, and it makes things very difficult when you mix business with loved ones. Very, very difficult. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking get in a Cito, pick a show before the Olympia, and see how things work. So that, yeah, but you know what, Holly, it sounds funny, but no, that wouldn't work. Then you would be sabotaging your husband, and that won't work. So if I'm a Cito or the next coach, I'm saying, fine, Samson, I'll do it, but don't let me get involved in a love triangle here. The minute that it becomes difficult, I'm not paid to be a couples therapist. I'm paid to be a coach. So the minute that I have your wife barking at me or you, that's not my job. Those things have to be made clear, crystal clear. But we shall see. So that's what I would do, because he obviously needs a new game plan. He lost 3 in a row after winning the Olympia. Do you want to win the Olympia and just be the guy that is in the mix now? I don't think anybody wants to go from that. I don't think anybody wants to win the whole thing and then drop down to the guy that's just being in the mix. I don't think anybody wants that, Anyway, let's check out some picks. Let's see. Here we go. First place, Martin Fitzwater. Second place, Samuel Jackson. Third place, Michael Jackson. Fourth place, Keon. That's just a stupid name. And fifth, Joan Crawford. You guys are assholes. I have to share that. I didn't even share it. I give you my best fucking comedy. I give you gold. Can you guys see this now? Martin 1, Samson 2, Mike Crizzo 3, Keon Pearson 4, Jonah Hill 5. Okay, good. So let's check it out. Let's check out. This is RX Muscle. RX Muscle has been doing one hell of a job updating the shows on their website. They really have. So let's check out Samson, his posing routine here. Okay. Now, excuse me. Excuse me. Samson knows he's bigger and wider than everybody else, so Samson's a great poser. So he comes out, and the first thing he does is that huge double bicep, right, with his arms out and so on and so forth, right? And he knows to like draw his arms as long as possible to show everybody how dominant he is on stage, how wide he is on stage. He's an excellent poser, and he's able to show his muscularity and his width on that stage, like with the best ones out there. And there's just no question about it. Even when his whole like movements with the most muscular, like it's a wide, dominant, most muscular, boom. You got to give him that much. And he looked great. If he came in looking like this at the Olympia, he might have taken it. He might have won. Because he has everything. Again, Samson's biggest weak point, even though it's very much improved, is his rear double bi. That's his weakest shot. Oddly, it looks great there, but then you put it up against Martin, Derek, Hottie, and it's like, oof, that's not good. That is a dominant shot, and those are guys that, the Olympia winners usually have amazing backs. I mean, he's 300 pounds on stage. He was 280 at the Olympia. That's why I said we got to find a good balance here, right? You could have came in a little harder, but it doesn't have to suck down to 280, All right, so now let's check out let's check out Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill. Joan Pradelis. Is this him? Yeah, this is him. This guy is really good. Really good. And he's very young. And he has a tremendous V-taper, huge arms, huge legs, good vacuum, full chest, wide shoulders. This guy is really good. I have to see him when he turns around. I think his back is decent. He comes in really lean and really hard. I think this is going to be one of the future top 5 guys at the Olympia. Okay. You almost tripped there. But I think he's going to be a huge top up. I think he's going to be a future top 5 guy at the Olympia. I think he keeps his head on straight and doesn't do anything stupid. I think this guy is going to be a tremendous open bodybuilder. I think he'll be one of the best in years to come, to be honest with you. Okay, now let's check out Keon. Where is he? Right here. Keon, just looks like a midget compared to these guys. He has beautiful structure. He wasn't as hard as he was at the Olympia. He does have that separation between his abs. I thought he was going to show better against the big boys. I was wrong. I will say that. I was dead wrong. I thought he was going to show much, much better against the big boys. He does do a good vacuum. He held his own in this show. He held his own. But compared to Crizzo and compared to Martin and compared to Samson, he looks tiny. He looks like a small guy on stage. I'm just waiting for his rear double bi. I mean, he has an excellent rear double bi, but compared to Martin and Crizzo, it's tough because he's very small. He doesn't have the width or the size, to hang with the best of the best in the open. Now, it doesn't mean that he can't in the future. You never know. He's made so much progress in the last couple of years, and he's very young. So you never know what the future holds. As of right now, I would stay in 212. That would be what I would do. I would stay at 212 Olympia champion. If you want to try to do the open one more time to see how you land, maybe toward the end of 26 or something like that, 2026, then fine. But if I'm him, this guy could literally dominate 212 for the next God knows how long. So, I mean, it's really up to him. He could be a open bodybuilder where he's in the mix, or he could dominate the 212 guys. So that's completely up to him. But a relatively good showing. I think everybody thought he was going to have a better showing, but still a good showing, solid showing for Keon. Now, let's go to everybody's now favorite, Martin Fitzwater. Now, Martin just looked amazing. He really did. He just looked. I mean, he was just diced. Look at the separation from his shoulders to chest to triceps. Like, his weakest shot is his front double bicep, and it's really not even that bad. That's his weakest shot, and he's showing improvements. Everybody's like, oh, you can't see separation between the bis and tris. But every other shot, I mean, that's probably, honestly, the front double bi might be the only shot that Samson beats him on. You could definitely, the side shots against Samson are very close. The side tricep and side chest are very close. So you can give it to Martin, if he's leaner and harder, which he is. But his back shots are just lights out. His rear double bi and his lat spread are just lights out, and even his quad separation is much better than Samson's. He's got feathered quads and quad separation, and he's got a pretty good midsection. Nothing's blown out. He's got a short torso, so his abs are compact, but they're still defined and still very dominant, if you will. Okay, it's not a weak shot on him. Okay, and his most muscular is good because he's so massive on top, and his legs are so good. He's just a very, very well balanced bodybuilder, and he knew he came in the best shape he ever came in. He knew it. Obviously, he was very, very excited when he won. And why wouldn't he be? He just beat fucking Mike Crizo, a big boy. He just beat the 212 Mr. Olympia, and he just beat, Arnold Samson Dauda. So why wouldn't he be excited? Of course he's excited. I mean, this was what? This was prejudging still, I believe. Yeah, this is prejudging. I mean, these are better videos. Yeah, see how high his quad separation is all the way up to his hip. That's something that Samson lacks. I mean, he every shot, he's very well put together. His hamstrings, his glutes, you could see that's a good shot for him. His side shots are excellent. Like I said, his weakest shot is his front double by, and with this kind of conditioning, it's not even that weak. But that's probably the only shot he loses against Samson, if you really think about it. I mean, he was peeled, man. He was peeled to the bone. He was peeled. Look at his lower back. It was peeled. I mean, the guy just really did his homework. A couple of years ago, everybody was a little scared because of the arrest that happened. But whatever happened, he dealt with it. He shook it off. And now this guy is on top, has a good head on his shoulders, and he means business. So we are happy to see that. We are happy to see young blood moving up in bodybuilding, doing better and better, not wasting his time, but just getting better on stage. Martin Fitzwater is, I think, going to be a superstar. Now, that being said, he's got to be likable. I don't know what he is behind closed doors, but we will see. Now, hi guys. Crizo's preference, I'm not aware of. Let's see. He's a will. Yeah, he is very, very will. Yes, exactly. I agree. Joan Crawford is definitely climbing the ranks. So yes, Keon. I'm assuming you. Yeah, he did. He totally did. Kenton, would you like me to send you the link so you can come on and join me? I know you're still mad at me. You did say some nasty, mean things to me, and I was very sad. But give me a thumbs up if you want me to send you the link. I'm just going to send you the link anyway because you're a nice guy. And if you can't show up, then that's fine. I'll just continue to entertain on my own. Let's see. Where are we here? K. And then the K. Kenton's got 2 emails, and I don't know which one to use. So I just send them to both. No, you're making supper. What is it, 1960? You're making supper? Live streamed all day. I'd rather give you shit here. Thanks. You're making supper. What's wrong? Your wife doesn't cook for you? Yeah, fuck. Just kidding. All right? Just kidding. Kenton's making supper. He belongs on the Waltons. I'm showing my age. I know. The Waltons was an old fucking show where they said things sound like supper. So, meal 4, is that better? No, yeah, it's fine. I'm only busting your balls over here. 1 minute we're kissing and hugging, and then you're getting fucking fresh. It's from Goodfellas. Anyway, what other shows we got going on? I know we have some shit going on. Come on. You son of a bitch bastard. Where are you? I had the rest of the shows. There we go. Okay. So, British Grand Prix was last week. Mexico was last week. Prague. So we got Poland coming up, Romania, Japan, which God knows if anybody's doing Japan, especially after he didn't pay anybody because it's the same promoter as the Masters from the Masters Olympia. And then you have Spain. And then that's it for the season. And then we don't do anything until the Arnold, So we'll see. But I'm not sure who's doing who. The next show is in Poland, which is this weekend. Then you have Romania the following weekend, and then 2 weekends after that, you have Japan, and then the weekend after that, you have Spain. So talk about how Hollingshead backed out of Prague. Did he really? I did not know that. Yeah, exactly, Kenton. Anybody who is thinking about doing Japan, just don't. If any bodybuilder out there signs up for Japan, you are the equivalent to the battered wife that just keeps going back to her husband. No. It was my fault. I shouldn't have said what I said. She's got a fucking black eye. You guys are fucked up. You guys are fucked up laughing at that shit. You guys are really fucked up. Well, I mean, Hollingshead backed out of Prague. Yes, he did actually, right? Did he? I'm pretty sure he did. I think he knows the same thing. So yeah. Same thing. I think James Hollingshead sees the writing on the wall. He knows he's either got to fucking start from scratch or hang it up, because he's another one that a few years ago was winning these shows that he's entering, and now he's lucky he's breaking the top 5. Yeah, exactly. That's how you talk about the promoter of the Japan Pro. Nice guy. Get the money out of him stuff. Yeah, I think so. I think if James wants to, look, this is the life of an athlete. Okay, you're gonna have tremendous highs, and then any loss is a low. Like a guy like Samson right now is fucking like, what am I gonna do now? I lost 3 in a row after winning the Olympia. What do I fucking do? Hollingshead is in the same situation. Fuck, I'm losing shows I would have won 3-4 years ago. And this is going to be, things that they are going to have to deal with. Is it time to hang up the drawers? Is it time to hang up the posing trunks? Or do you think that you should just start from scratch and see what you could do? Now, I don't think Samson should give up. I think Samson still has a lot left in the tank. I think Samson's got a good 2 years left in him. I think he's very dominant. He could still be very dominant. He still has a beautiful structure, big, huge frame. And I think he needs to find that balance of size and roundness and thickness and width with a little bit better conditioning. Samson's not going to be Hadi Chopin. It's not going to happen. Okay. He's not going to have Ronnie Coleman conditioning. Right. And then there are guys that are going to have to look in the mirror and say, I'm going to have to, pretty soon pretty soon I'm going to, yeah, I know, Matt. I'm just saying he's got time left in the tank. He's got, I'm just making an analogy, whatever, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the case is. I know, I get it. And then there are guys that are going to, figure out, look in the mirror and go, fuck, what, is it time to hang it up? And you see these guys, Hakeem Williams is one of the guys that comes to mind. This is the first year in he did the Olympia and he didn't break the top 10. I'm pretty sure so that's going to be very disappointing. And you go, okay, where do I go from here? You have to be open to criticism, but now everybody calls you a hater. Yeah, Angel, I don't think Samson's going to get any big. I think he knows that. I think Samson realizes that he has to find the balance between his size and conditioning. I mean, he can't be 280, but 300 might be a little heavy. You know what I mean? At the same time, if Martin wasn't there, he would have won. People would have been saying, "Oh my God, this guy's dominating. He could win the Olympia again next year." But Martin is the kind of guy. He has that ability to come in that grainy, hard, diced fucking bodybuilder, like a fucking Dorian or like a Hadi. He has those genetics. I don't think it's always not working hard. I don't think that's the case. I think every bodybuilder's a little different and they have to find their sweet spot, you know? And again, like I said, then there are bodybuilders that have to realize, okay, you know, is my career over? Am I done? Do I go out with dignity or do I do some more shows and look ridiculous? Now, I don't think Samson's in that category. I think Samson has some time left. I think he still could be a very, very dominant bodybuilder. I just think he's got to take a step back and do some soul searching and figure out what his game plan is going to be. And if that means, you know, keeping your wife as your wife and moving on to another trainer, then so be it. But she has to understand that it's just the best for him. And what's the best for him is the best for them. Right? That's why it's very difficult to mix family with business. Very, very, very difficult. It's not easy. It ain't easy, Thud. It ain't easy. Keon should just fucking, I don't know. I don't know what Keon wants to do. If he wants to take another shot at an open, I guess go ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't see him to the Olympia in 212 next year. You know, I really wouldn't be surprised for that again. I mean, you know, he might do it. That's going to be, he's either going to do another open as far, I mean, I might be wrong, but all things considered, I think Keon is either going to do another open to see if he can nail it, or he's just going to stay as 212 and we're not going to see him till the Olympia next year. That's what's going to happen. And if I'm Derek, which he's not doing, I don't know why. If I'm Derek, I'm going to try to mend my relationship with the fans as best as possible. Because for some reason, people don't like him. And he doesn't go on podcasts. I mean, if he does, it's the best of the best. I mean, go on some podcasts. Go on some tours. Go speak to people. Go have a laugh. Go, you know, make jokes. You know, let the people know that you're down to earth, that this is who you are. You know, mend the relationship between you and the fans, because for some reason people do not like Derek. And it again, this is strategy, okay? Because everybody, look how much everybody loves Nick. Everybody loves Nick, to the point that people were just saying, Nick's going to win the Olympics. Nick's going to win the Olympia. This is next year. This is next year. And deep down, we all know that Nick just doesn't have the structure to win the Olympia. And that's his Achilles heel, is his structure, right? Because when you put him up against Andrew and Martin and Derek and Samson, that's his Achilles heel. Derek is, if I'm Derek, I'm looking to try to recreate my relationship with the fans. Because if you don't, then people are going to just say that you are fake, you're phony, or you shouldn't have won the Olympia, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. And I know that bodybuilding is not a regular sport. I know that it is not a regular sport. But sometimes you have to take cues from other sports and how they do things in order to make yourself more marketable and in order to put yourself in a position to win, if you will, okay? Winning Mr. Olympia is the greatest crown in the world as far as I'm concerned. But if you don't have the fans on your side, it's a big drawback, man. It's a big, big drawback. You know, people love Samson. So no matter where Samson goes now, people are going to say to him, don't worry, Samson, you're going to be back next year, new year. You're going to be back, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with Nick. People absolutely love Nick. And they're going to be saying the same thing about Nick. So it is what it is. Anyway, guys. All right. I did a fucking 40-minute wrap up. Join me tomorrow. I will be back with Lee Priest. We'll be talking about probably whatever the fuck Lee wants to talk about. Although we'll probably be talking about where does Samson go from here. Because him and I were talked about this, and we kind of had the same opinion on it, but we'll probably talk about it for about 12 seconds and then talk about whatever the fuck we talk about, masturbating in fucking a dimly lit little room or something like that. I don't know. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. I'm out. Later. Peace.